What's going on? I want to continue on in this theme of we living in a time of judgment, in times of judgment, because it's times and times, buddy. You know, you got the long judgment and you got the short judgment. It's like, so basically in all the times when people were judged, man, a lot of times they would end up smoking the people trying to warn them. There's a part in the scripture where it says, "And which one of the prophets did your fathers not kill?" Jesus Christ himself killed for trying to bring forth these prophetic events and sequences. So it's very true. Also, look, in times of judgment, a lot of times when people, they murder the wrong people, that was part of the judgment. It says, "All who deliver unto sword shall be delivered to the sword. All who leadeth into captivity shall go forth into captivity. They'll fall in their own pit that they dig for somebody else, man." Also, once again, in the times of Exodus, they were assassinating the newborn boys. And this is once again during the time when Christ was born. They also, in a parallel type and shadow, were murdering all the boys, trying to stop the prophecy, because certain of wise men knew, because of certain prophetic dates and timetables, that it was coming at some point in the time. And it's also, there was an event that happened in the celestial. It was probably a multiple event, but once they seen this certain event, they knew the time was coming where it was like they should be looking. Like, it's strange. I don't totally understand it, but we living in one of those such times of judgment, man. I heard this dude. I read this one book. I think it was at Ruin and Restoration of Israel or something like that. But it was saying in it how after Christ was killed, for 70 years, people went on with life is normal, but in like something bad happened, like freaking, where it was totally freaking destroyed and ransacked after that point. Freaking, and it was a judgment sequence, man. Freaking, it was like 70 years. There was like an earthquake and then invading army or something to that effect. Don't remember what it was exactly, but there was a man who was a prophet walking around there, and he was saying, "Look, destruction's coming, and then he ended up getting freaking like something happened where he ended up just dying, like freaking in the midst of spouting the message. And there was like strange signs in the sky. There was like a bloody sword that was like a cloud that would show up every night and hang there over the city. Like, look, yeah, it's interesting. But time of judgment was like, the very Bible starts off very quickly and goes to the time of Noah. It says, "As in the times of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man cometh again." And that's the second coming. That's tribulation period. That's Jacob's trouble. That's Revelations. Look, these got some strong connotations when it comes to judgment things. But in the time of Noah, everybody was just going on about their life, man, just hustling and eating and drinking and just going on, look, having family reunions and marriages, and just, look, it would seem like life was normal. But during that time, it said people's thoughts were continually evil 24/7, and man, were just evil, exploitative, murderous, cutthroat, and it was just like, morally, like devolution, freaking morally. It happened morally, not genetically. Once the moral character erodes, it's real simple for people to go, wax worse and worse, as it says somewhere. But anyway, so Noah was telling these guys for 120 years that God was going to judge the place, and everybody would laugh at him and mock him, and they were like, they didn't care right up until the water came, and Noah went on the boat. I mean, you got then quickly it jumps right up to this where Lot, and Lot was in Sodom and Gomorrah, and frickin' Abraham had to go there, and frickin' actually Lot was saved from so many times. One time he became in prison by some radical sodomites, and Abraham had to go get him freed. And then later the judgment's coming to Sodom, frickin', and Abraham was interceding if there was 5 righteous people. And it's funny, Lot had his family, and there still wasn't 5 righteous. It's kind of weird, because you think about the wife was looking back, turned into a pillar of salt. Judgment. But they were instructed not to look back. And some say that's a parallel now. So when they dangle trinkets above your head so you'll take them to get your old life back. That's the same thing also when the Hebrews came out of Egypt. They were negotiating why it was better back there. Why did we have to go and mess this up, man? We had a good thing going. Because look, some people are exploiting the system, and they're doing quite well with they're benefiting from all of the dysfunction and the corruption. And they don't care. They're willing to look the other way and take the bribe, take the money, and just freaking look and just what is it called? Go along to get along. You know what I'm saying? So, in such times like this is the times of judgment. Freaking people like that right now too. Unfortunately, some people are just so hopelessly dependent on the system they can't be unplugged. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's Lot's wife. And I mean, once again, Lot's sitting there, and the angels come to warn him, and all the dudes are standing out the door with their pants off saying, "We want to meet these men." You know what I'm saying? Like, look, not even knowing they about to be judged by that. Then strange occurrences, these dudes went blind, and then freaking look, they gave Lot emergency SHTF extraction, and when it went down, the wife looks back, blown up, pillar of salt. Dude just gets out there with his life and his children. It's an odd story what happens from after there, but not far after that. Also, once again, you have the plagues, or the 7 years of good and 7 years of famine. That 7 year of famine was a time of judgment. But you fast forward to the Exodus. Look, for the Egyptians, and I mean, and here's the same thing: the Hebrews that were going to be delivered out of there, frickin' also had to live through the judgments and see all the crazy, miraculous, whoa, that would have been scary. That would have been very upheaval, very you'd have to be pretty psychologically pretty tough. And I mean, it was a sequence of different plagues on top of plagues, and we got all these events going on right now in America. It says neighbor shall rise against neighbor. That means neighboring countries, neighboring groups of people, neighboring ethnic groups. It basically sounds almost like a civil war and a greater war all at the same time. I mean, you got the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. That's famines and pestilence, and also beasts. When it says beast, that could mean bees, locusts. That could mean rats. You're overrun with rats, and it's causing a fucking another black plague, bubonic plague type deal. You know what I'm saying? And they had a bunch of frogs that were just showing up everywhere, and it was spoiling and rotting the food because they would just get in everything. They get in the grain house. There was dead frogs collecting fungus, and it was rancid and ratchet, and you know what I mean? And let me think what else. You got kind of inflation. That's kind of a judgment. And right now, everyone has been complaining about gas. Because of the freaking gas, man, it's look, it made my last even relationship freaking very bad because of that grinding with that extra pressure on society, because it's on everybody. I'm almost lost all my relationships, both private, public. You know what I'm saying? With work, with personal, because of the gas prices right now, dude. And also, look, I mean, it's just, yeah, I'm probably walking or riding a bicycle for the rest of my freaking life, dude. It's that bad. I'm already judged too, dude. Where, yeah, gotta humble yourself. Go be a freaking panhandler now, or something. You know what I'm saying? Almost, it would feel. And then, you know, hey, feel bad taking a ride with anybody, because freaking, I know they're grinding these frickers to death with the gas prices, dude. This is kind of another kind of judgment where you look. This is why your utilities ain't supposed to be. You're not supposed to pay for utilities, because look, you end up in slavery. The servant, or what is it? The lender becomes slave to the owner, or something to that effect. It says in there. More just ways to trick you into living through a kind of captivity, a bondage. And even they're demanding people do stuff with their body these days, which almost seems like, look, they're openly showing you they think they own you. And this is the last, like, they're coming in on the final frontier, which is inside of us, inside of the human vessel. Can they get a freaking a backdoor way to take us freaking literally over, rewrite our brain, rewrite our thoughts and our feelings, intervene, and look, it's judgment, man. I mean, that's a judgment on these people too. Of course, it says that God will destroy those that destroy the earth. I mean, in the times of Noah also, there was corruption going on with spiritual forces, with the sons of God, which are like angels, came down and made frickin' a hybrid race of giants and men of renown, like the whole mythology of the Greeks, man, and these other mythologies. At one point in time, these people were out here interfering with humans, and it says also it'll be like that again. And you wonder where they even learn some of the scientific freaking technology. It's like in 100 years, we went from freaking being farmers with beasts of burden to horsepower and, look, AI, dude, basically. Like quantum computer freaking processing power. And dude, everything that they show us out here, they got 70 years advanced of what we do. And once again, it's like, they always say it's convenient. It's conveniently for them to slave you, to make it more convenient to be controlled, man, and conditioned and utilized and mined, like data mined, and used as a battery. I mean, and literally, they want to hook us up through social credit, the Chinese social credit score, through some kind of biometric ID, not just a biometric ID. They want to put it inside your body so that the machine can track you at all times. Judgment, man. You're inviting constant judgment into your life, dude. Look, and it says that at some point in time, like basically, when the plagues hit, everybody who takes that biometrics freaking ID is going to be attacked by just like reality is going to come at you, like, and it's literally going to come to life and destroy you and get rid of you. You'll be cleansed from the earth, dude, like what the judgment is here for. Freaking, you know, look, to get rid of, look, every tree that doesn't produce good fruit is cut down and thrown in the freaking fire. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's getting serious out here. It's a good time to freaking repent and rethink your life, man, and your purpose and just how you go about things. It's a great time for that, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a great time to see, you know, how they're manipulating this, and you know, and how they're using this to their advantage. So it's like, look, when it all goes down, these people are really gonna deserve what they get. You know what I'm saying? But it says pray that you escape these things. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'll be back. Much love. God bless. Take care. Safe travels.